Doggy doggy what now?
As opposed to Bojack Horseman's dark and pessimistic perspective on life, it seems that Mr. Peanutbutter symbolically represents those individuals who see life through the lens of optimism and hope. However, with a deeper look, one can understand that he is not a simple character, and behind his seemingly superficial behaviors, Mr. Peanutbutter holds a unique philosophy and perspective on the world. One that encourages living in the moment and embracing changes.
You know I support you, whatever you want to do, but you're not going to find what you're looking for in these awful, made-up places. The universe is a cruel, uncaring void. The key to being happy isn't to search for meaning, it's to just keep yourself busy with unimportant nonsense, and eventually you'll be dead.
This approach also has its own set of challenges. Embracing an easygoing attitude and the constant pursuit of happiness is a goal many of us have at least temporarily pursued. Being happy all the time can be a great goal, but it can also come with costs for the individual, his surroundings, or society. Taking responsibility for ourselves and others means accepting our shortcomings and facing challenges. Therefore, depending on your personality and outlook on life, you might either admire Mr. Peanutbutter or become quite frustrated by his actions and behavior. Today we intend to examine the character and life philosophy of Mr. Peanutbutter. To better understand the differences between him and Bojack, just like the previous video, we have analyzed him from 3 perspectives: family and friends, job, and emotional relationships. In the series, not much information is provided about Mr. Peanutbutter's childhood and family. We only see his brother, Captain Peanutbutter, in Season 3 of the series when Mr. Peanutbutter and Diane go to Labrador Peninsula to visit him. Captain, like Mr. Peanutbutter and apparently the entire residents of Labrador Peninsula, is an energetic and cheerful dog. Therefore, it can be assumed that Mr. Peanutbutter's childhood was free from any traumas or serious distressing events. And this very upbringing likely has made him a positive and carefree person. However, at the same time, this environment has contributed to the development of certain personality traits and inappropriate approaches in Peanutbutter family. One of these qualities becomes evident in Captain's inability to express and share the pain he feels caused by his twisted spleen. Rather than confronting the issue head-on with his brother, the Captain attempted to communicate by sharing melancholic thoughts about life with Diane.
Diane, do you ever look up at the stars and feel like they're tiny holes in the sky, sucking out all the oxygen, and suddenly you can't breathe because you're thinking about how small you are and how meaningless it all is?
I guess.
It's so cruel to let people love you. All you're doing is promising you'll one day break their hearts.
And when Diane brings up the issue with Mr. Peanutbutter, his denial leads to a big fight between them. It's as if the possibility of any problem threatens the protective bubble Mr. Peanutbutter has placed around him. Neglecting issues and not making an effort to solve them can lead to passive-aggressive behavior. This is exemplified in Mr. Peanutbutter's confrontation with Bojack during the show Hollywood Stars and Celebrities. We see that Mr. Peanutbutter starts mocking Bojack in retaliation for Bojack's attempt to kiss Diane.
Kinda surprised you didn't get that one since you're an expert when it comes to denial. Quick impression. Glug glug. I'm not an alcoholic.
Similarly, his issues with his wives and his neglect of their desires may manifest as passive-aggressive behavior due to his inability to communicate. In this way, he unconsciously takes out his marital issues on them, seeking revenge through subtle means. Another issue stemming from his carefree childhood is his inability to delay his desires. As soon as Mr. Peanutbutter's phone rings or someone presents a new idea, he becomes so engrossed that he can't think of anything else. If we consider Labrador Peninsula as an idyllic place, it's not surprising why Mr. gets so excited about every idea and possibility and can't hold himself back. When the next big thing always seems enjoyable and rewarding, living in the moment appears logical and possible. This is an option that someone like Bojack, due to his bitter past, may never have. Now let's move on to Mr. Peanutbutter's interactions with his friends and other people that he interacts with. In a general overview, Mr. Peanutbutter comes across as a charismatic and approachable being to the rest. He always has something to say and finds a topic to get excited about. However, having low standards in life makes him naive and manipulable. Princess Caroline has used him for various roles in her work time after time, and Todd frequently executed his idiotic ideas such as building a Disneyland or hiring clown dentists using Mr. Peanutbutter's resources. And the funny part is, they didn't need to even convince him to do any of that. All they needed to do was to present him the idea, which shows how easy it is to manipulate Mr. Peanutbutter. For those who have their lives under control and can handle their past issues, Mr. Peanutbutter can be an excellent friend. But for someone like Bojack, who needs more attention and is constantly immersed in his negative emotions, seeing Mr. Peanutbutter can remind him of what he lacks.
Mr. Peanutbutter.
No, tell me.
Because I'm jealous.
Of what? Diane?
No. Of everything. Everything comes so easy for you. I want to feel good about myself. The way you do. And I don't know how. I don't know if I can.
That's part of the reason why for some characters and viewers, Mr. Peanutbutter is an unnerving creature. He's a reminder of what he is and they're not. So the only explanation for them would be to assume he is faking it or is an idiot.
You people are all right. Who wants an autograph?
He's so stupid he doesn't realize how miserable he should be. I envy that.
Overall, Mr. Peanutbutter's emotional stability rarely aligns with the ups and downs of someone like Bojack. This is why he sometimes gets too close to him at the wrong time, leading to frustration.
What are you doing here?
So, I went a little overboard and I made you 2 mixes. The first CD is all Mighty Mighty. The second CD is all of the Boss Tone side projects and solo singles, so you can listen to it and imagine the band never took that hiatus in the mid-aughts when America briefly lost interest in ska.
What? I don't have time for this. I don't want to listen to your music and I don't want to hang out with you. Get the hell out of here.
Mr. Peanutbutter can be said to not pursue any specific career goals in his professional life. He doesn't even mind if he loses his job as an actor and has to work as a salesman in Foot Locker. This approach allows him not to feel much pressure and consistently perform well in his work. His career as an actor began with him impulsively entering the set during the filming of Untitled Horsing Around knockoff show, and without even intending to, his charisma attracted the audience, and hence began Mr. Peanutbutter's career as an actor. The series Mr. Peanutbutter's House is essentially a copy of Horsing Around, a fact that never seemed to bother Mr. Peanutbutter, and that's because unlike Bojack, he doesn't have high standards for his job and doesn't think that any task is beneath him.
It just seems a little cheesy.
Hey, I'm not too big for anything.
Now, having low standards might have really damaged his reputation, but at the same time, it reduced the stress of his work and made him more accessible. His amiable demeanor attracts people to him, and as a result, he leaves a lasting impression on people's minds, significantly enhancing his likelihood of discovering new opportunities. We hope you found the video content interesting up to this point. If that's the case, be sure to subscribe to our channel, and of course, leave any suggestions you have in the comments section. Now it's time for the section on romantic relationships, where Mr. Peanutbutter's problems are more evident than anywhere else. Paying attention to how Mr. Peanutbutter's mental energy is allocated across different aspects of his life is crucial. Dividing your energy may be considered a healthy approach in terms of mental well-being. However, those in close relationships with him often bear the brunt of his constant cheerfulness. He doesn't invent extra energy and attention in his spouse during social gatherings, frequently becoming distracted and failing to consider the other person's feelings seriously. For Mr. Peanutbutter, everything is replaceable. This doesn't imply that he lacks affection for the person he is in a relationship with. Rather, this behavior stems from his inability to empathize with others. The grand gestures he makes to surprise his spouses, such as throwing a big party for Diane after spending a full day away from home, or pretending to steal a giant Hollywood billboard to show his love for her, while beautiful and romantic, are ultimately what Mr. Peanutbutter values, not his partners. If we look at Mr.'s failed relationships, we come across a variety of reasons behind his divorces. His first wife, Katerina, had a hard time handling the pressure in the first Hollywood party they attended. So she asks Mr. Peanutbutter to be by her side at the gathering, something that Mr. Peanutbutter frequently failed to do.
Hey!
Oh, hey, there you are!
Sweetheart, you disappeared while I was in the bathroom.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I just got distracted by the fun party. But I will not leave your side again. Oh my god, is that Erica?
No.
Afterward, Katerina tells Mr. Peanutbutter that he never listens to her, which probably eventually led to their separation. His second wife, Jessica Biel, becomes frustrated due to Mr. Peanutbutter's inability to say no to anything. Diane doesn't like Mr. Peanutbutter's grand and extravagant gestures, and in general, she's upset that Mr. Peanutbutter always acts up in his own assumptions about her. And finally, Pickle, Mr. Peanutbutter's latest girlfriend and fiancée, finds out that Mr. Peanutbutter has cheated on her with his ex-wife, Diane. The multiple of reasons for Mr. Peanutbutter divorcing his spouses highlight a lack of self-awareness and limited understanding of both himself and his partners, and show that when it comes to romantic relationships, he often settles for a general sense of connection and overlooks factors like age differences or their overall approach to life.